Hello, this is DK from Mr. V Amps, and welcome to What the Heck Did I Buy at the Auctions? Well, I have been at a few auctions, and I have gotten several things, and some of them are completely unrelated to this channel, like window fans or an office chair. But here are the things that are related to this channel. This is something big. This is something we have needed for this channel for a long time. Are you ready? Get real. Drum roll. Come on, do it on your legs or something. I can't hear you. Okay. It is a used but way better tripod for our camera. I am really excited to kick this piece of garbage tripod that we've been using for the last 6 years and put it in the scrap metal pile. This is more better. This one is for camcorders. Hooray! Shall we test it out? This is exciting. Alright, check it out. It's actually level, and you can tilt and pan. The panning's a little stiff. I think that's an adjustable. Yeah, there we go. Can pan more smoothly, and we can tilt more smoothly. Less of this herky-jerky crap. We won't be kicking it. Oh, there was one other thing we got there. It was that thing. I almost forgot to mention it. Yeah, this would be... I don't know if this is really interesting to y'all, but maybe this will be interesting to the channel. This is a 1961 Seberg Ay 100 jukebox. It's not as massive as it appears. Certainly not tiny, though. I'll spare you the details. It doesn't work. I did take the stupid advice of Shango as opposed to the wise advice of people like Mr. Carlson and Uncle Doug. Obviously, when you have a piece of vintage electronics that you're pretty sure probably doesn't work because it hasn't been used in forever, you should probably carefully look it over and be very careful with it. And don't plug it in until proper servicing has happened. Or you can just do the Shango thing like I did and plug the damn thing in and see what happens. Well, it don't work. I can actually show you what it did, and I think it's going to be fairly fixable. I'll give you a quick tour, though. Okay, so that looks pretty good. For starters, we're off to a decent start. Our plate there for our song titles and everything, that's all in okay condition. They're handwritten labels, and judging by the song titles that are listed there, I'm not really that sad that it didn't have, well, it had one record in it, but all the other records were taken out, so I'm not tremendously sad about that. Sorry, all you Bee Gees fans. So anyway, these were kind of a thing. You could feature an artist of the week. You could like put your 45 sleeve over there and, you know, like have a picture of Elvis or something in there. This is 1961, so that was when Elvis was making movies, so you probably have like Return to Sender or something up there. Right? That sounds like a song of the week. And you can put some featured artists, you know, names across there, do some cool artiste work. This is all supposed to light up, but the light bulbs aren't in there. And this is the last of the visible type jukeboxes, meaning that you can see the mechanism work when this would be properly powered up with all of its fluorescent lights, which are all missing. You would be able to see the Selecto-Matic mechanism, pull a record and play it. It would play right about there, and you could watch it spin, and that's kind of cool. Of course, this came with no keys, but at least they were nice enough to leave it unlocked. Yay! So we can lift it up and latch it open and take a look inside. I stuck a few of my own records in there. This thing up here counts the popularity of the plays. It has been rolled back and reset, so that's fine. We have our tone arm with two styluses there, and a lot of dust, and this mechanism, I've seen somebody rebuild one of these before. This is an AY100. It looked a lot bigger on Dude's video than it does in person. Let's see, there would be a light bulb right there, black to black. That would light up the backboard there. And then there would be another light bulb. See, there's a starter hiding out in the corner. See that little silver thing in the corner? And then there would be another light bulb that would go, I don't know if we can quite see the, yeah, you can kind of see this corner right here. There'd be a light bulb that goes right along here to illuminate the mechanism in there, and it also would shine through down to illuminate the speaker grill. And essentially this is a 100 selection jukebox, meaning it takes 50 records. It should be able to play both the 45 RPM discs and the 33 RPM discs. So if you have a small hold 33 RPM disc that's compatible with the Seagate, or Seagate, you can tell I'm a computer guy, the Seberg, it would drop the speed down to 33 and play that. So you could have maybe a longer player. Let's see. You can tell this is original stuff. 3 plays for $0.25, 10 cents over 1 play, and a $0.50 for 7 plays. It's kind of cool that it takes $0.50. So obviously your selections are made with a letter and a number. So A1, A4, whatever. And this thing over here actually does light up to say make a selection now when it has credits. When I turned it on, it thought it had credits, which doesn't make a lot of sense. And it comes with a lot of dust. The speaker grills here from a distance look like cloth, but they are aluminum. They are to protect the speakers from drunken patrons who may kick them and or put their foot up here while contemplating on what to select. The crown logos don't look too bad, but the chrome is kind of missing at the top. I don't think these were actually chromed metal, but chrome look plastic. Okay, coming around to the back, we have a volume knob. I don't know why you'd need that. The door is open, but it does close all the way. The lock is opened. And then over here we have the main on-off switch and the record reject button. So you need record reject if somebody decides to play one of those Bee Gees records. Alright, and we'll zoom out a little bit, and we will flip the lid, and we'll look at the back of the mech, just for amusement. Let me grab the light. Let me help you all out a little bit. Woo. So it comes equipped with a lot of dust, and there are a few records in there that are all just dusty scrap records. I threw something in there just to see if it wanted to work, and the answer is no. We have some nice crusty grease over there, and there's our fancy mechanism. It looks really cool from this side. Maybe I should bring you over here and take a look at it, because it does look really cool. Let's see, come on over here. That's why we buy a better tripod, so I can still just pick this camera up and lever it around like I always used to, right? Doesn't improve. Better tools do not make a better filmographer. Okay, I think you can see that. There's our mech in there. Pretty cool. They get some lithium grease in there and some oil, and I don't know if that's just dust on oil. Looks more like dust on oil. At least I don't see any rat crap. I just see a lot of dust. It's a good start. That's the back of the Select-O-Matic unit, which didn't seem to want to move. It does move on the rails because it slid when we drug it out of a basement. Yeah, I had to drag this out of a basement. Lucky me. And we come down here to the open door, and we have tubes. We have tubes. There is a name. They have a special name. I will remember it, I will tell you, but for the brain box of this thing, because this thing remembers your selections in sort of a tube memory system. It's not a entirely pinned mechanical memory system, and my heart jumped and I had a gasp when I saw these two tubes, which are 7199s. Yeah, if you work on Ampegs, you know when there's a 7199, you pray to All Holy that it is okay, because if it's bad, it's going to cost you a king's ransom, or you have to switch it to that 6 whatever tube with the adapter, which is possible. If you notice, these tubes have lovely brown stains on them. These are 6973s, and these tubes, particularly this one not so much, but you can see brown spots. These tubes are essentially red plating when the jukebox is on, so there's probably something going on up here, and that's probably our first problem we want to troubleshoot, along with probably capacitors that are significantly older than I am. 5U4 rectifier. There is a 6EU7 down there. Thank you, Gibson. At least that's available in current production. And then the volume control down here, there's another 6EU7 and two 6BJ6s. And I guess that's like auto volume leveling because some records are louder than others. Over here we've got an OA2, a 6X4, and another OA2, I believe. So there's two OA2s and a 6X4. I think I do have some OA2s laying around. That's good. I do have 6X4s. I know that for sure. And then we have a 12AX7 on this little memory. And then there's something down there. That might be a 5Y3 rectifier. It seems like they have separate power transformers. Like that's the power transformer for this chassis, and that's the power transformer for that chassis. That looks like a 5Y3, but I'm not sure. It could be like a 6X5 maybe. I don't know. I'm not going to try to dig through the dust. There's a lot of dust. And there are a few tubes at the bottom missing, but there were a couple of spares floating around at the bottom of the juke here. Let's see, what was in the bottom of the juke? A 6BJ6, so that's the one that's missing from the auto volume level thing. And looks like we got an extra OA2. And what else do we have here? We have a really dusty something I can't read, and another OA2. Okay, what's this one? 6EU7. Oh cool, that's our missing. So we have our missing 6EU7 and our missing 6BJ6. So our two tubes that were sort of missing from the bottom are there. There's also floating around in the bottom some cover. There are covers in here to cover like switches and adjustments, and one of them has obviously been removed. There's another one sitting right here. Again, you're talking to somebody, or I'm talking, and I don't know that much about this. I haven't read the service manual. I just brought it home and I'm just giving it a look over, so you're in the same boat with me. How about I drop your tripod extra low and we'll take a look at the other tube chassis in there? Or do you want a closer look at those? Well, you probably want a closer look at those, so let's look at that first. Okay, so here's your close-up of the two chassis ZZZs. This one's got, this says we got tone controls, but let's see, balance is there. There's another balance down there for the auto volume control thing, and then there's some switches over here for like more treble and more bass, and they flipped them both up, so I'm thinking they listen to rock and roll records or something. What is this tube down here? This is the, it says 2050A, but that doesn't tell me what the model number is. I guess it is a 2050A. 2050A. Oh, you know what that is? I know what that is. That is a Thyrotron tube for the memory thing. And I actually have a few of those. Cool. Came in a box lot of tubes that I didn't think I would be able to use. And then I buy a jukebox. Okay, and we look in here and we have an audio amplifier which has 6 L6s there. That's cool. They actually have the Seberg brand on them. They look like black plate RCAs. Somebody might really have a excitement for that. 6 BH7As, which are like a dual triode thing, and a big old 5U4 in the corner. There's another tube in the corner they're hiding out. I don't know if that's a 12AX7 or it's a 6EU7, but it's something like that. And then there's another cover panel for something. Okay. And then our speakers are Utah, 12-inch Utah Alnico drivers. Circa, the date code is 1960, 49th week. So this jukebox model is supposed to be a 61 year, so this was probably early production, I would suppose. Over hiding in this corner, let's cart you over here. That's the coin box, or the coin mechanism acceptor thing. Again, I'm not a jukebox guy. I'm an idiot who bought a jukebox. I don't know what this thing is. See, it says code C on it, and it is the single pricing unit for $50. Okay, so this is like a special thingamajig for $50. I guess that was maybe an upgrade. Okay, so it says it's a single pricing unit for $50 on the side. And we have the switching thing. I do know what that is. That black box in the middle is a low pass crossover. With these jukes, you could use the 2 existing speakers as full range, or you could get the little Seagate speakers that hang on the wall, which are actually 70 volt speakers, and you can flip that to yes, and it goes to a low pass filter, meaning that these speakers essentially become your bass drivers. And then the channel 1, the other channel speakers that you hook up there, I think, don't yell at me, I don't know, I'm a rookie, but yeah, there's other channel speakers here, and you can hook those up, and those would be 70 volt speakers for you know, other places in the world. This is kind of weird though. We have this thing, CV speakers, ABB CV speakers. What's a CV speaker? And then we have things that are labeled channel 1 and 2, and we have 16841, so that sounds like ohms, right? And then with a common in the middle. So these are allegedly 16 ohm speakers by the way they're hooked up. That sounds about right. Okay, and it comes with a lot of dust, but beyond the dust, not too bad. Alright, one more thing to look at, I guess. This thing was supposed to, somebody has bastardized the paint job. The original ones of these originally it had pinstripes, white pinstripes on the side, and if you actually look very, very carefully, you can see where the pinstripes originally were, and I think some joker either pulled them off or painted over them. So maybe once we get this working and we get all the schmoo off of it, we might re-pinstripe it. And then of course the coins went down there, and they ended up in this bag, which goes there, and then you put them on behind this door with a lock and key, which I don't have, but at least I have the door. So not bad, you know. It's, and then there was supposed to be a lock and key for the top part, but that tumbler is just missing. And on the side there, you see that circle? There was like an emblem that went on those. So I'm sure they probably pulled the emblem off, painted the sides all black because they were probably scratched to heck, and then never bothered to put the emblems back on. So I'm sure some joker has them on eBay for sale and wants a king's ransom. But yeah, so anyway, my goal here is to screw with this. I didn't pay a king's ransom for it, and if you read any of the blogs and websites about jukeboxes, this is an AY100 from 1961. It's not a particularly desirable jukebox, it's not a particularly valuable jukebox, and they're allegedly a royal pain in the keister to repair. Yay. So, and there's all my cuckoo clocks. I got those fixed. Those all came from the auction too. I think I've shown them before though, so who cares. Yeah, so I don't want to let this become a money pit, but I think it would be cool as heck if we made it play. And I suppose the first step to getting anywhere with this would be to probably pull this chassis on this side, and we'll test the tubes that are in there, and well, obviously clean the dirt off, but see why those 6973 tubes are red plating. The most likely culprit would be a leaky capacitor on a grid. Seems to be the most common. A bypass cap that would go to a grid being leaky, and instead of keeping a negative voltage, it's just allowing a positive voltage to leak through to the grid, turning the tube on and causing chaos. But we will have to find that out in another episode. So this has been an episode of What the Heck Did DK Buy at the Auction? Oh boy. Have a great day.